Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on this lovely Wednesday morning. I hope everyone is well. If you don't know me, I'm Chloe and I am the Head of Accounts and Partnership Marketing at HomeViews. I'm just going to wait a few moments whilst everyone trickles in to start the session, but we are very excited to launch our, of course, new partner portal, which is a live feed of data and more insights into your customer feedback. This is widely available to our partners, but if you are interested in more information, please do get in contact with me at my email address, chloe@homeviews.com for more information. Likewise, if you do have any questions, please do submit them in the question box below, and we'll be following up afterwards, after the session with any of your answers. So as I said, as a few more of you have joined, we are very excited to launch our new portal, all of its upgraded new features around data, review insights that I am very excited to share. So I think that is everyone in. So let me go ahead and share our new portal. So what you will see here is the dashboard section of your portal. And the whole portal is really a chance to offer you kind of that immediate access to your reviews and ratings, to keep your pages on HomeViews updated, from a brand and marketing perspective, but really to understand your customer feedback and how your residents are scoring their experiences. So what you'll see here is just an example dashboard that we have set up solely for the purpose of this webinar. So let me take you into the exciting new details. So what you will see at the top is your overview company portfolio rating, and each of the individual category scores that we asked residents to rate out of 5. The great thing about the HomeViews review form is that it's just not one side to a resident experience. It really is varied, and you can get a lot of insight into how residents see their value for money, for example, what's their perception of the design versus the management. It really gives you that comprehensive insight into the residential experience. So what you'll see here is your overall portfolio company ratings as such, and then you'll see how your residents have scored that particular experience. So for example, I can select from the drop down here the design rating, and this will tell me that 59% of my residents in this example have scored their experience 5 out of 5, so excellent, versus how many that have scored their experience very poor, so that's 1 out of 5, and it's only 1%. So for this example, looking overwhelmingly positive. And I can do that for each of the individual categories and how this corresponds also to the score on the left-hand side. What you'll also see is we have got a summary of your total reviews. This is all-time data versus verified and non-verified reviews. HomeViews collects verification information from all residents who submit their review on HomeViews in the form of a full name, flat number, and postcode. And then we partner with an independent data partner who matches that up to, let's say, an electoral roll to make sure that resident is actually reviewing a building that they definitely live in. We want to make sure all the reviews are verified, as many as possible. So we really do pride ourselves on our verification, and we really want to make it so that those reviews are transparent and trusted by prospective residents. It really is becoming part of that user journey to look for your new home, and reviews are becoming part of that. So really important for us that those reviews are verified. One thing you'll also see is your reply rate. So all developers can respond to reviews on HomeViews. It's absolutely free to do so. And we actively encourage you to respond to your reviews, whether that's even just to say thank you. All residents will receive a notification that a management response has been posted. And it's a really great way to be seen on the platform as responding to all your customer feedback. What you'll find at the top is that we've got a breakdown of the individual filters, so you can access individual data to what you specifically want to find out more about. So the current view will always be, the first view that you will always see as a partner when you log into your dashboard is your all-time data and of all residents, all age ranges, and so forth. But if I really wanted to look at, I can look at my owner data. I can specifically look at my private tenants versus, my shared owners. And I can also then say, well, I would like to look at my owners who were specifically within the age range of 25 to 34. And I can also select within my owners those who were first-time buyers versus those that use the Help to Buy scheme to really give you that comprehensive insight into your different tenants. Selecting all will bring back your overall feel and overall look. Let me just unselect that at the top. And you can also select a start date and end date of where you would like your reviews and ratings to start from. And if of interest, you can also use any of our preset date range filters, whether that be last quarter or last year for your interest. Any of these, when you select a filter, will then automatically update any of the graphs within this dashboard section of your portal. Moving on down, you will see the development scores overview graph, which really gives you that overview of how your development scores compare, both for each category and then also against each other. So which are your highest performing developments versus your lowest performing developments. And as I said, you can split this out per category. So you might want to see which are best performing for facilities. What this also compares to is your overall portfolio average rating, which is now made up of all of your individual reviews for that particular category. So you can see how your development compares to that, both on the, as well as compared to the HomeViews UK benchmarks. The benchmark you will see within your dashboard as a partner will be the benchmark specific to the type of properties that you rent or sell. So for example, as a build to rent operator, you will see our bespoke build to rent benchmark based on all-time data submitted up to the last full half-year period to really see how you're performing against your industry and your housing category. For example, we can also now provide the build to sell benchmark within your dashboard to really give you that insight to see how your developments not only are performing against one another, but against your competitors and the wider industry. So a really great graph to kind of deep dive into all of your development scores. Moving on down, we've got some insight into who are your reviewers, how many are owners versus how many are private tenants, for example. So I can see here on the left, by hovering over the individual sections within the circle, I can see that I have a certain amount of private tenants versus those who are owners, and then my shared owners and so forth. So it really can show you that split of your resident types. And likewise, this is paired with our graph on the right, so your ratings by reviewer type, which showcases this individual experience per your reviewers. So for example, it does showcase how they score their experiences and then also how it compares to our HomeViews benchmark. You'll see the benchmarks in gold, which are relevant to that particular reviewer. So we can provide an owner benchmark versus a private tenant benchmark, let's say. And let's say, for example, you wanted to compare your owners versus your tenants. You can toggle on and off your different reviewers and just showcase that different split between your reviewer types to really showcase and really delve deep into your data and easily access this to whatever detail you would like to showcase. Just to note, on all of the graphs as well, they are also downloadable. So you can click this little icon here to download each graph, and that will pull up a little screenshot that you can add into any reporting and to be shared with your wider team, which is really easy to generate your own report from any of these graphs that we have available within your dashboard. Moving on down, you will find your selected development scores graph, which really just shows the individual and most up-to-date specific scores for each of your developments, and then the categories as per the graph, the table, and how these compare to the HomeViews benchmark. As I said, this benchmark will be relevant to the housing category that you are. So whether you rent whether you're a build to rent operator or whether you also have properties for sale. This will be relevant to you. We can also showcase the different questions that we specifically ask to build to rent, to build to sell by clicking on the below here. Moving on more to these additional questions that we ask to build to rent in particular. Every build to rent operator and development on HomeViews is asked these questions, and they are asked to rate their experience with customer service, repairs and maintenance, and additional services to really give that insight into the build to rent experience, to really showcase how different it is from the average rental experience, let's say. So we can showcase, as I said, your current rating in green versus how that may be in the previous period versus the benchmark to how we see build to rent performing in the wider part of the UK, including your competitors. We can also showcase on the right, we asked to all residents within build to rent, would you recommend your landlord? And we've showcased here your percentage of recommend relevant residents that have said, yes, we absolutely would recommend you as a landlord. And you can see here the current rating as before, previous period rating, and how this compares to the build to rent benchmark. Likewise, what we can also showcase is the new build owner additional questions. With any of these additional questions, it's to note these will pop up dependent on the type of properties that you are showcasing. So whether you have rental properties, your additional questions pop up for those. And likewise for the owner additional questions, this will appear when you have new build owners answering and submitting their reviews on HomeViews. So these are the questions that we specifically ask to residents who bought directly from you as a developer. Similar to build to rent, you will see the current rating at the bottom on green versus the previous period, and also the benchmark. And this benchmark is specific to build to sell and is the same. It is all-time data based up until the last full half-year period. Just to note on our build to rent additional questions, again, it gives you that insight into the new build purchasing journey. So we ask residents to rate their experiences with customer service, delivery timetable, delivery quality, and after sales care. And we can really pull out within another section of your dashboard, the reviews, which talk about more about their experiences. So you can really do a deep dive into these scores. Likewise, similar to build to rent, we actually do ask all owners that bought directly from you as a developer, would you recommend your developer to your friends and family, and have provided a percentage on those who say yes. So your current rating as before is in green versus your previous period rating, which is representative of what you have as your start date and end date. This will always appear as your last year if you select all time, just to showcase how your scores may be changing. And likewise, we have the build to sell, benchmark in there as well, which is sitting at 80%. So with this particular example, scoring above the HomeViews benchmarks. Moving on down slightly, what we can see is the split of your owner reviews on the left-hand side. So really understanding out of your owners who they are and how they purchased their home. So for example, we can see in blue those new build buyers and how many bought directly from you, and then how many in green were first-time buyers and how many were used the Help to Buy scheme. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you select owner within your reviewer type, it will pop up with another section where you can select first-time buyer and Help to Buy to really understand those that have used the Help to Buy scheme and how they score their experience, and likewise the same for first-time buyers. So really worth having an explore as a partner to showcase the different experience and how those particular reviewers rate their experiences. On the right-hand side, you'll see our ratings history graph, which really does showcase how your developments are scoring over time. You may want to compare your developments, and you can select, as before, these developments on and off. For example, if I only wanted to see a few different examples of developments, I can select these and download this particular graph by selecting this button here to particularly analyze those developments. Similar as previous graphs, you can showcase the different experiences for the different categories that we ask residents to rate by selecting them and seeing how the graphs change. Coming on down to our age range graphs, so something that we started collecting data about in February 2021 was asking reviewers to provide their age and what category, which range they sit in, really to kind of delve even further and to give you more access to who and how those particular ages score their experiences, because it's going to be very different from someone that is purchasing their first home or, you know, having their first rental experience to someone that may be within their, you know, fifth or sixth home. So really to kind of split that out for you so you can kind of delve deeper into different age ranges and how they score their experience. So on the left, you'll find the split of how many are in each particular age range. And then on the right, how each of these age ranges score their experience. So as I said, you might want to compare your 18 to 24-year-olds to the 35 to 44 category, let's say, and you can toggle on and off the different age ranges to really select and compare. For this particular example, the 18 to 24-year-olds in green score their experiences across all 5 categories, as well as the overall category much higher than those 35 to 44, to really showcase that kind of split in data and for you to find out more about how residents score their experiences. Similar to the age range question, we also started asking residents how important sustainability was to them in February 2021, and we're now at the place where we are able to do more reporting on it, especially with the growing importance of sustainability in our homes in the built environment a lot more. Residents are asked if they see sustainable features as important to them. If they select yes, reviewers can then select up to 3 features that are most important to them. So this is just a display of, at current, as it says in the filter, all-time data on which sustainability features are the most important for this particular data set of resident feedbacks. And you can see below from some examples of what features we ask. So whether that's, you know, renewable energy sources, bike storage, recycling services is obviously very important and popular, as well as things like sustainable building materials and construction methods. This can, again, don't forget, you can filter by your different reviewer types and age ranges to really see how each of those different categories score sustainability and how they see their experience with it by filtering at the top. Moving on down to our reviews history graph, this showcases an all-time view at present of how your reviews have been submitted over time. HomeViews is obviously the largest data set of reviews for new build properties currently in the UK. Our coverage is growing, currently sitting at around 35,000 reviews, and this is growing day to day. So you will see here kind of the spikes in where new reviews have been submitted, whether that's through partnering with us and taking part in one of our annual surveys and as part of a bigger reporting piece, or whether that's something that has been submitted organically by a resident. HomeViews is also proactively sourcing reviews across the UK, so you will see here kind of an increase over time from where you started, let's say in 2017 when we started collecting reviews, to where you are now, and to really see those reviews and when large numbers of reviews were submitted. And finally, my favorite graph, although it looks very busy at the moment, is our submitted review scores by date. And what this really showcases is see how your review score change across the different categories based on your previously submitted reviews. So what that means is, and let me just click on and off the categories at the bottom, so I can just showcase you one particular rating, is that on this particular day, so these individual points are when one review or maybe a bunch of reviews was submitted, I can see on that one review, that review had an overall 3-star rating. This is really to see those trends and how your review scores change over time, and really to give context to things that you may be seeing within your buildings and how those reflect in your ratings on HomeViews. So you might get a really kind of downward trend at one point, and then you can put into context on, well, I can see what happened within, you know, the 22nd of January 2020, when I received a 1-star review based on that only one review on that particular day. And likewise, you can see trends on when reviewers were very happy. So it's really to see kind of those scores and how they change on a day-to-day basis, to really give you context to how your ratings overall change over time. So this is, as I mentioned, the overall company portfolio dashboard, which really gives you that overall overview of all your developments and all of your scores in one. But dependent on the package that you are signed up for or are going to be signed up on, you can also see this at an individual development level as well. So say, for example, I select one development, let's select this particular example, I can see that this then pulls through a overall scores and ratings for that particular development, and you can see that it then filters by each of the different categories at the top, and you can specifically see those development scores. And likewise, this then showcases an up-to-date view of all the graphs and data that we've gone through just for that particular one development. As I mentioned, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the question box below, and we can follow up after the session with your answers to accurately showcase what you'd like to understand. So moving on to our awards section, HomeViews is really unique in that we can offer the only property awards based on resident feedback. To qualify, you need a minimum of 10 verified resident reviews, and we offer a number of awards across the different categories on HomeViews. So whether that's an overall star rating versus maybe a facilities award of excellence, they are based on the number of residents' reviews that you've received, but also how your residents are scoring them. So to achieve one of our category ratings here, you need to have at least 50% of your reviewers within that calendar year scoring their experience 5 out of 5. So this is just to showcase the awards that we have available, and these are great examples to use in your marketing, perhaps on your website and across the internal communications. And as a partner, you would have access, and you do have access to use these, and they are also displayed on your development pages on HomeViews. Also, moving on to one of the most important sections, of course, within your portal is our review section, really to kind of, you've seen the dashboard and all of the quantitative insights that you can see and do a deep dive into your ratings. But here is the section to really understand your reviewer sentiment and find out more about maybe what your specific individuals are saying. Also, you can split out this at a development level below, but really to kind of deep dive into your reviews. So this is the automatic review and look that comes up initially, and what you can do is you can see which of these reviews are verified. As I said, verification is very important to us, so it will receive a green tick, which is also seen live on site once it is verified by our reviews community team. You can see the display name that the reviewer has chosen versus their overall scores, their type of tenant, the development that they're reviewing, and then also all of the main 5 category scores that they are asked to rate. And each of these are now available to filter. So if you want to first see all of your, those reviewers that may have scored you a 1 or lower scoring, a 1 or 2 star, versus how many have scored their experience 5 out of 5, you can now filter within the individual categories to do so. I might want to see all of my ratings for my lower scoring overall scores versus those that have scored their experience 5 out of 5. You can also change your view of your review section. So I can see individually what the main sentiment within the reviews are. And you can see here that we've now added a search function, so you can find out a specific sentiment and find those reviewers which are mentioning things that you're interested in finding about. So let's say if I was really interested in finding about those reviewers that mention value, you can see here, and it will pull through a list of reviews which specifically mention this within their mention this particular sentiment within their individual reviews, and it will pull through a little search expert so you can see where that sentiment has been mentioned. Just a really great way to easily understand your reviews and who has said what and how do residents individually value their experience. Clicking on one of these reviews will pop up the main review along the right-hand side to really give you that kind of in-depth look at your individual reviews if you were looking into doing some analysis on those. So you'll find the main review popping up at the top. You'll find the question that we asked specifically around location. Please share one thing or more which you wish you had known before you moved in. And then we also ask occasionally a random questions. In this particular example, it's if there is one thing you would change about your flat or property, what would it be? You can also see any comments around the landlord, if there are any, and would you recommend your landlord can be seen within the individual review sections, as well as the individual ratings and the additional questions, depending on the type of review that you are looking at. Here is where you would also respond to any of your reviews. As I said, we actively encourage everyone to do so. Within the rest of the sections within your portal, as a partner, you will be able to edit your development pages. So any of your live and actively marketing schemes, you'll be able to add additional content, imagery, and you'll be able to edit your company page, for example, depending on your type of package that you sign up for or have signed up for, by editing, again, additional content that you can add to your page and amend the description, add your facilities information to your developments and so forth to really maintain your kind of brand look and feel across your pages on HomeViews. We have a number of resources sections, so whether that's some of our guides, we also offer widgets. So widgets are a great way to showcase your live resident experience. So we really make this easily accessible for you as a partner to access. So as a partner, you have a number of widgets available to you, whether that's an overall rating widget, a review summary, a starter review, or a company widget. For example, if I would like a review summary, I can select this here, select create widget, select the development, and then the destination URL. And this will bring up a lovely preview here of what that review looks like. For more information on our widgets, you can find this within our guide section, as well as a really great guide on how you can access and make the most out of all of your features on HomeViews. Likewise, if you are interested in partnering with HomeViews, please do head over to our business hub where you can find out more information about our HomeViews Partner Portal. And finally, there are lots of links within your portal where you'll be able to access different features. And as I said, that business hub to make the most out of your subscription with HomeViews. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening today. As I said, if you have any questions, we will follow up afterwards and make sure everyone's answered those. But as I said, really exciting to launch our new portal and look forward to hearing your feedback and how it's being used. But if you'd like to discuss anything further, please do get in contact. Otherwise, have a good day, everyone. Chat soon. Thanks. Bye.